How's it been?
It's been going well so far. The first 4 days, the guys are out working hard, really competing. I've been very excited about the energy that I've seen so far out of the group. Guys are coming out executing, trying to come out and get better every day. So they're being very coachable right now, and going through it the second part. From the spring has really helped some of those guys because the terminology is not like it's all new learning coming out, so they're able to play a little bit faster, and the guys know what I expect and what we expect on defense, so they're trying to adapt to that and create an identity as we get started here.
Yeah, some of the players were saying the other day there were some little skirmishes when the pads came on. What did you see from that as a coach? As long as it doesn't get out of hand, is that something you like to see, some competitive fire from your
Well,
guys?
it's football. You got 17, 18, 19-year-olds out there competing with pads, and it's early, and everybody wants to show how hard they've worked this summer and what they've done. So you don't mind that as much as a coach. You like to see that competitive nature come out.
I know when Akeem was a freshman in the spring, he got into a skipper. It kind of showed he wasn't going to back down from anybody. What do you see from Sosa in that regard, his competitiveness?
I'll tell you what, his energy has been great the first 4 days, just as far as being competitive. When it's offense against defense, he's one of the loudest ones out there encouraging his teammates and let's go, let's not, let's stop them. So I've been pleased with his energy so far.
Now that you've had a spring and a few camp practices, just how do you feel about your group overall?
Well, like I said, in the spring we're a young group, but the thing that I've seen so far in the first 4 days is some of the gains that they made over the summer with their strength. I feel like from what I've seen so far, we're stronger, and I think that's allowing some of the guys to make some of the plays they're making now. One of the guys I was looking at just the other day was T.J. Smith. He picked up some weight, and his lower body is stronger, and that's one of the things that you really see on tape. I've been excited with, and not just T.J. Each and every guy you can say, oh yeah, we're doing that a little bit better. His core is stronger, or we developed some more lower body strength. So I've been pleased with that so far.
Jonathan Marshall got moved outside the end. They moved Dylan over. Do you feel like he's taken that in pretty well, Coach?
Yeah, Jonathan Marshall was one of the guys, I don't know if you realize it or not, he was one of the guys that played both in the spring for us. So he would alternate in at nose, and then I would move him out to end. We feel like he can play both. He's doing a good job learning both spots, and, he's a really, really strong kid. And so once he continues to get it and we can get his technique down, he could be a very powerful guy. He's very strong.
TJ's something weight, isn't he, a little bit?
I think he was 310 in the spring, and so he's just gotten stronger over the summer. I think he started camp around 310 too, so he's kept his weight pretty consistent. I think he's gotten even stronger.
TJ's a guy he's been a backup. He's played some, but what's he done, at least for now, to get first team reps?
The thing I love about TJ, he just does a really good job of taking what you put on the board and taking it out and applying it on the field. He's a really coachable guy. He takes pride in that. One of the things that we challenged him with over the summer after the spring, he needed to gain a little bit more weight, and we wanted to see his lower body develop. And the first 4 days in practice, you can see that he's definitely done that.
Carried the weight.
He's carried the weight just fine. To be honest, you don't see a difference in the way he was running in the spring to the way he's running now, which is good.
And how much has he added?
I want to say 10, 11, 12 pounds. Yeah, somewhere in that area.
And Bijan, he's one of your few older guys.
Yeah.
How's he doing there at the nose, and just how important is it to have a senior to kind of anchor things in there?
Well, I think it's very important to have a senior like Bijan. I think Bijan is a lot more confident in his role and in the defense, and you see him relaxing and making plays. So he knows the technique, and he knows what we want him to do, and I think he's really settling into that role, and he's much more comfortable this camp than when we first started in the spring. Just even as being a leader, he's kind of a quiet guy a little bit, but the guys gravitate to him. He does a great job off the field with those guys. And, just an example, the other day in practice, something we had messed up before I could get over there and say anything. He already had told the player what he did wrong and what he needed to do. And so having leadership like that, that's a plus.
Kirk said he'll take Dylan Hayes back if you're ready to.
We're going to hold on to Dylan for a while. He's doing it. I've been pleased with what I've seen with him the first 4 days. That's a big – people don't think that's a big transition. Well, he's just playing on the old line going to D-line. It's like night and day, with what you're allowed to do. And so he's making a nice transition.
Frank the other day said Dylan was playing like a mad squirrel. I never heard anybody say that. What do you think about that?
I haven't heard that one either. So, but like I say, Dylan's doing a good job learning the technique and learning the defense, and he's playing hard.
What did you guys see about Dylan that made you think that'd be a good conversion for him?
Well, I didn't realize this, but Coach B let me know that Dylan was recruited by a couple of schools in the SEC and the Big 12 to be a D lineman. I know Missouri was one. I can't remember the other one, Indiana. So he had some defensive line offers. And when I went back and I looked at his high school tape, you're like, oh, yeah, you would take that kid as a D lineman. So he has the mentality and the skills to be a D lineman, and that's what I like. I mean, he was one of the guys in the spring in my room. You're like, man, we got to get that guy because he was always trying to finish our guys. But I'm glad he's on our side because he brings another element of nastiness and toughness over there. I like that a lot.
You were mentioning somebody who moved some weight around, lost like 11, 12 pounds or something. When I walked up, I didn't know.
I was saying T.J. Smith that gained, 10 or 11, 12 pounds.
Up or down?
Up. Yeah, no, that's one of the things we talked about with him in the spring was, getting his weight in the 290s, getting close to 300, and he did a really good job with that. And over that course, he didn't lose his speed, and it's allowing him to anchor and play blocks better and that type of stuff.
How has it been with that? I mean, you've got McTelvin and Bijan pretty much running the first team with TJ, but I would imagine there's a lot of competition over there at the right spot too.
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't even talked about Briston Guidry. He's been flashing, and you could tell he's gotten stronger this summer. And John Marshall's a guy that we think could play either spot, and he's doing well. And then you got Jake Hall, and you got Mike Taylor. There's a lot of guys, and Armand Watts. Yesterday in inside was getting after it, and he's another strong guy. So we got some guys that are competing their tails off at that position, and I think that's going to make our group better.
Is Guidry, is he at end, or is he playing both spots?
Guidry's at end. He's just at end. Yeah, he's strictly an end.
And you hadn't mentioned Austin Capps.
Yeah,
How's he doing?
Austin Capps is having a good camp too. One of the things that we talked about with him was just improving his quickness with his first step, and that's been very visible the first 4 days of camp. So, like I say, I can't say enough about how hard I felt like the guys worked over the summer. And so you see some of those things we asked them to work on, they're showing up. So we just got to continue to improve, keep getting better.
Coach Rose was talking about for you guys to have success that the nose has to get his hands on the center and control the A, and the ends have to get their hands on tackle, control the B. Could you elaborate on that just a little bit more and just maybe a little detail?
Well, when you're running that 3-4 defense, it's imperative the nose has to get after the opposing team center. And we're asking him to control one of those A-gaps. That's critical. If the nose guard is soft or is not controlling the A-gap, it's going to be a long day for your defense, as well as the ends not playing B-gaps. Because, you got guys that are getting up on your linebackers, guys you're counting on making tackles. They can't make the tackles because they're getting covered up by big guys. So, it's imperative that my guys do a great job getting their hands on the tackles and the guards and, playing physical. That's one of the things you have to do in a 3-4 up front. You have to be able to use your hands and get your hands on the right people, so those linebackers can scrape.
What do you say about more time developing these blood pressures that you sort of installed last spring and kind of redoing it again now? And how important is that going to be this fall?
Well, those blitzes, it's been Coach Rhodes says every day it's a work in progress with how we're doing things. We tweak things off of what we see to try to put our guys in the best situation. So that'll be one of those things that'll be ongoing and always changing from week to week. But like I said again, one of the things that you love about the 3-4 is the limitless things that you can do out of looks and pressures and all that. So that'll be revolving all year.
You recently got a commit from Georgia in this 2018 class, and it's on the defensive line. You had several guys visit from Georgia. Do you feel like you got some momentum going there with recruiting?
I think, like I said earlier with recruiting, man, all my career, everywhere I've been, I've always been in the state of Georgia. And a lot of those coaches that coach in that state, they don't leave. They just move from place to place. So, I think having a familiar face with a lot of those guys as they move around and just developing those relationships, that stuff helps. And then, at the end of the day, once you get in there, even if you know the coach, at the end of the day, it's about what kind of relationship you establish with that recruit and his parents. Is there a level of comfort? And I think what people are finding out, out of that state is when you come out here and you look at Arkansas, we have everything that you want. We got facilities, we got the academics, we got it all. So I think when recruits come out and see that, and they're like, oh yeah, I can get everything I want at Arkansas. I think the university speaks for itself. The people that we have, that they talk to when they're here, it just blows them away. There's something about this place that's special. It has a very personal touch. So I think when recruits and their families come out here and they see that, they feel that it's genuine and it's just not, it's just not about football. It's about life here. And I think the recruits feel that, and I think that's helped us. That's helped us a lot.